Hello again, chemistry. Miss Aninga here to help you out with more basic chem math. We're going to be looking at how to rearrange equations today because I know rearranging equations is something that a lot of students find confusing and kind of ghastly at first, but once you understand how it works, it's going to be really easy for you and it's going to make your homework have less headaches in it, okay? So rearranging equations is something you do in math as well as in science. Science, it deals a lot with variables that might not have numbers, and it deals with multiple variables in a same equation. So it's not all just find x among, a bunch of numbers. It's when you have lots of different letters together and you have to isolate one. So I'm going to take some from this worksheet here and work through how we rearrange equations to help them make sense. Okay? So for this one, let's start off with an easy one, which is number 1. That states solve 9 equals A, B, C. Okay, this one's number 1. And we have to solve for A. Okay, so we're solving for this guy right here. We have to get him all by himself, or their selves, however A wants to describe itself. But we have to get it all by itself on one side of the equal sign. Since it's already on this side, I don't see a reason why we should move it because it's in the top. So we just have to get rid of B and C. Now in normal math, they can say, based on what we see here, A is times by B times by C. And you could, by all rights, divide B and C out separately, but since they're both on top and we're doing the same process, we're still doing division, we're just going to divide by both B and C at the same time. Obviously we have to do that on both sides of the equation, like the equal sign. This gets rid of that, and so leaving A all by itself is equal to 9 over BC. And that is it. That's our rearranged equation. Okay? That one was pretty easy though. That was a good warm-up one. Next one I think we should do, let's try for something a little bit more complicated with number 3. 3 says (13p minus 2y equals 14 plus 10p. And we have to solve for y. So we're going to look at this and we're going to solve for y. Okay? First thing you got to do is say which side of the equal should we leave y all by itself, like we shouldn't do anything with it. We can leave it here on this side right now because it's not on the bottom, so leave it. And besides, you can't really do too much when you have something with it. So you kind of want to get rid of the stuff that's next to your variable first. So we want to get rid of 13p. It's a positive 13p, so in order to get rid of it, we have to do the opposite, which is minus it. So minus 13p. And we have to do the same over here, minus 13p. That gets rid of that there. Notice I didn't get rid of the minus sign here because minus 2y implies that it's a negative 2y. Okay, So that's going to come down as negative 2y, so looking for y, equals 14 plus 10p minus 13p. That's going to give us negative 3. So it's going to be a plus negative 3p. So to save us some like mentality, we can see that the plus is next to a minus 3p. So regardless of what you're doing, you're going to be minusing 3p anyway. So you can kind of ignore that addition sign. It's instead just 14 minus 3p. Now we have to get y all by itself, so we divide that out from our y. So divide by negative 2, and you divide by negative 2 over here. That gets rid of that, and y follows down. Here it gets a little dicey because you have a negative. When you have a negative, it does stuff to the signs up here. This 14 is positive, and this is a negative 3. With a negative on the, when you divide by a negative, this changes it into a negative, and this changes into a positive, and this gets canceled out. So when that happens, then now all of a sudden we have a positive 3p and a negative 14. We want to try and label this so that we have our positives come first. So we have a positive 3p, and we're minusing 14 off of it, and that's still divided by 2. Okay, and this is our answer for, or at least this is our rearranged equation from what we started with. Okay? I know this was kind of different, a little bit more difficult, having to keep in mind variables so that you add and subtract them correctly. Let's see. Do I want to do another one? Nah, I think that's pretty good for this one. Just remember with like exponents and whatnot, you don't have to necessarily get rid of those. You just have to minus or divide them away properly. Okay? So that was rearranging equations. It's not too bad once you understand the basics of it. If you have other questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to do this all day. I like rearranging equations. It's very rare that I find one that I can't do. Alright, I'm going to leave you to it. Please let me know if you have any other ones, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!